We're about to have a transfer special and an end of season review as we get ready for our first season in the African Champions League. And if we win it, that is the end of this accidental Pentagon challenge that I've kind of stumbled upon. And here we are. Welcome to the video, everybody. And this could be or should be a huge transfer special because we've got a lot of players leaving. And just a quick recap on the season so far. We finished second in the South African Premier Soccer League, and that by way of doing that, we qualified for the African Champions League. We won the South African Knockout Cup. We got to the semi-final of the South African FA Cup where we lost to Amazulu. Have we actually played the final of, or have they played the final of that yet? No, they play that tomorrow in game 29th of May. Amazulu against First Division Shakuma. I'm still kicking myself that we didn't beat Amazulu because that would have been a great opportunity to win our second trophy. We got knocked out in the first round, the quarterfinal of the South African Super 8 as well. But because we finished in the top 8, we've qualified for it again next season. So we're going to have plenty of competitions to come. If we have a quick look at the emails, the supporter profile update is in. The supporters' influence on the board is moderate. We've gained 34,600 social media followers. We don't have any season ticket holders on a waiting list. Our core supporters have gone down to 21%. Our fair weather has gone up to 15%. Everything else stays the same. I was still impressed by a 4% corporate. You don't usually see corporate being that high. If we have a look at the Club Vision and Expectations meeting, they want us to reach the latter stages of the Champions League. We're not the highest ranked nation in this either. I think Egypt and Tunisia are rated better than South Africa. So we're unlike with the North American Champions League, where Mexico was easily the better leagues. We are third in that, so we're not necessarily the favourites. They want us to challenge for the South African Premiership title. Fine, and then my contract is due to expire at the end of next season. So if I don't live up to expectations, they could just let me go at the end of my contract. But we'll see how that goes on. The club will be competing in 5 competitions: the Premier League, the Knockout Cup, the FA Cup, the Super 8 and the Champions League. Then the end of the following season, work towards winning the South African Premiership. Just carry on doing that basically until we eventually win it in 2041-42. Wow, 41-42. I think this actually marks, or this coming season will mark the 15th year of the Unemployed Journeyman save. So we've been in this world for 15 years, and that just seems kind of mental, really. Right, we need to accept the current vision. Don't need to negotiate it. The dynamics, everything's fine in dynamics. The end of season squad break, they return on the 21st of June. As I said about my squad, if we filter the squad by expiry dates, we do have, where's 2038 ends around here. So these are all the people that are potentially leaving. There's 15 players that are potentially leaving. As you can see, Ayanda is a first teamer. I might try and keep him actually because he is pretty decent, although he is 29 years old, so he falls a little bit outside of my age range. I don't usually like going above 28. Then Maloto, who again, do you know what? Let's just see if we can get them onto a new contract at the moment. Discuss new contract with agent. He's interested. That's good. I did try doing this with quite a few of the players earlier on in the season, but because we weren't performing to expectations, so to speak, they were not wanting to stay with me. So can we knock him down to 3,000? I have found with FM24, like here, it's not a contract negotiation. This is what we want. You give it to me or we're not agreeing a deal. So, okay, we would agree 3.3k. Was it him? No, it was Maloto we just spoke to, wasn't it? So Maloto, he's on 3.8 at the moment. So we've got him down by £500 a week anyway. So can't be too disheartened by that. Right, Ayunda, he's currently on 3,500 at the moment. Will he be, actually, we can just trigger his extension. So we'll trigger that. There are a few players that do have contract extensions that could be triggered. So Ayanda is one of them. He's now dropped down the list. So we've got 14 players leaving. So, yeah, I will have a look through at anyone I potentially want to keep. I mean, Sifo Roman, has he got a contract extension? No. He's on 4.1k. He's been pretty decent for us. I'm going to have a look at the squad planner and I'll get back to you once I've done that. I'll probably do that in the transfer special part. But unless anything else comes up in between times, we'll go to the end of season review. And here we are for the end of season review. Quick update, Amazulu did beat Shakuma in the South African FA Cup. So they have won that. We did win our little cup here though, the South African Knockout Cup. And let's get into the new arrivals. So we start off, Lerato Shueni has been given the award for the sign of the season. 14 goals, 3 assists from 31 games. It's not been a bad season from him. Emmanuel Frimpong came in as well for £105,000. 35 appearances, 1 goal, 3 assists at 6.90. I want more assists from him next season, basically. Sifo Roman came in as well for £145,000. 31 appearances, 2 goals and assists at 6.83. Baba Goudiaby came in from Generation Foot for £160,000 at the January transfer window. 15 appearances, no goals, 1 assist at 6.83. He's been okay. Joshua Koza, Swane, all of the Lindo Radaby, I definitely did bring in. I didn't think I brought in these guys, but maybe I did. But they had minimal impact in terms of Joshua Koza anyway. And Swane, £75,000 from Uppington City, 26 appearances, 17 of those are from the sub bench. Lindo Radaby definitely was me. He came in from Golden Arrows. 35 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist as a fullback, can play left or right. He's been quite handy. And Tumeleng Kakana, who unfortunately has been out injured most of the season. He made 6 sub appearances and that was it, £175,000 from Golden Arrows. He's one of the players that potentially is going to be leaving at the end of the season. We've been given a C for our transfers in, C- for our transfers out. I mean, we did sell Michael McKizzy for £375,000 to Al Etifak and given Nwandwi for £150,000 to Supersport United and Madis to Orlando Pirates for £170,000. And then this guy here, Ernest Goldston, for £25,000. We brought a little bit of money in as well as spending a bit of money. Sergio Persian, who I was looking forward to keeping around, but he wanted to leave. So we mutually agreed to terminate his contract. He's gone to Spartak Moscow and he's doing pretty decently at Spartak Moscow, to be fair. In terms of season's results, the board expectation qualified for the African Confederations Cup, but we've qualified for the Champions League with a second place finish. If we had a better second period of the season, we could have actually won this league, but we were in the end 7 points adrift of the eventual champions, Supersport United. Only 18% of our ground has been filled. We get just under 12,000 supporters in there. And Mayambela and Shueni with 12 goals apiece were our top goal scorers in the league. In the South African Knockouts Cup, we won that. They wanted us to reach the latter stages. Shueni was their top goal scorer in that one. In the South African FA Cup, we got to the semi-final. They wanted us to get to the latter stage, which I think is about the quarterfinals. Yeah, there you go, quarterfinals. And Mayambela with 3 goals was the top goal scorer in that. And in the Super 8, we were rubbish, so let's not worry about that one. Then we get to the moments to remember. The biggest win was a 5-0 win against Supersport United in the South African FA Cup. We had that on camera. That was a terrific game for us. Probably the best performance we've had all season. The match to remember was a 5-1 win against Sundowns in the South African FA Cup. And goal of the season was Mayambela running from inside the Chipper United half. The striker skins an opponent before scoring a well-placed lob from 24 metres. That one, I think I did show you that on camera. The game was off camera, but I think we actually saw the goal itself where he lobbed the goalkeeper. It was a very, very nice goal. We get to the final. I mean, everything has gone down by corporate and hospitality, so we didn't have a great season there. We're a 3-star continental team. Our top shirt sales were Ndevu, Gobesi, Mayambela, Mofokeng and Tanjagora. Bear in mind, he rarely played for us, Tanjagora. Our best 11, they've gone with the 4-2-4 rather than the 4-3-3, which probably is right. Gomazulu in goal, Radaby left back, Frimpong right back. I mean, I wouldn't have Radaby there, I'd have Goudiaby, but okay. Roman and Massetti in the centre of defence, Maloto and Gabesi in midfield, Moses and Nkobo out wide. It's interesting they've got Moses and not Mofokeng. I think Moses may well be the man I go with moving forward. Mayambela and Ndevu up front, so Shueni doesn't get in our striking department. And Ndevu, the club's all-time record goal scorer, he has actually been very good. I stumbled upon him by accident, but yeah, he has actually been very good. In terms of the accolades, the record breakers, most goals by a player in a season for Mayambela. Oh, in a match. I was going to say in a season. Can't be 3 in a season. 3 in a match for Mayambela. Most goals by a player in a league match, Mayambella for the same 3 goals, I presume. Most league appearances by a player, Ndevu with 277 appearances. And most league goals by a player, also Ndevu with 78. I mean, it's not a great return, 78 from 277, but he has played more games than anyone else and scored more goals than anyone else in the history of this football club. Fans player of the season, they've given it to Ndevu for 7.4 rating. Youngest player or young player of the season is Mayambella for 7.4, 22-year-old striker. Sign of the season, Shueni. Goal of the season, Mayambella. Top goal scorer, Mayambella. Most assists, Nkobo with 12 assists. Most player of the match awards, Nkobo with 6. Highest average rating was Mayambella. And the most passes completed per 90 minutes was Gabesi, which is actually a change because usually it's your centre-back that gets that. So to have our central midfielder get it, that's a change from the norm. We did pick up Manager of the Month for February as well. History in the making. Don't know what this is here for, but okay. South African Knockout Cup is a little trophy. Cape Town City looked sharp when they had to be in the middle of the season. Few would have expected this outcome, but they gave themselves a chance and have reaped the rewards. Lovely, lovely stuff. And the manager timeline is what the manager timeline is. Just quickly have a look through here. Mofokeng, we've triggered an extension. Oh no, that's not the one. There is someone we've triggered extensions to. Can we find them? No. You'll see who they are when we get to the transfer special part of it. Right, just quickly having a look through here to make sure there's nothing we need to actually know about. Fukushima sacked by Fukushima. I mean, that's a bit like when Arsene Wenger came to manage Arsenal. Arsene managing Arsenal, but this is Fukushima managing Fukushima. I mean, he's been sacked, so he obviously didn't do particularly well. A 27% win record and a 51% relegation loss record. No, I don't want him. I want the actual Fukushima. They are 18th in the J3 League. So, yeah, they're not doing very well. Bless their hearts, Fukushima. Right, I'm going to move forward to around the 1st of July when the season ticks over and all the free transfers and that start to become available, and we'll get on with the transfer special. Then, what I will show you is the players that are leaving I've taken out of the subs bench in the first team and all that sort of stuff. Our first team as it is remains unchanged. That is what, I say our first team, I wouldn't have him there, we'll have Moses up there. But that is basically our strongest 11, our first team. And then we need a new goalkeeper. We need central defenders because we've only got these two at the moment. Ayanda, I did trigger an extension in his contract. There are a few others down here, the likes of Fernando Benjamin, Kalashaweo, might even be Mofokeng as well. No, he's not one of them. Oh, he's here till 2040 anyway. So I don't know why he's all the way down here. Let's move him up a little bit into, say, here. But yeah, anyone that is running out, they're down here. But Benjamin and Kalashaweo, they do have the opportunity to trigger an extension in their contract. I probably am going to trigger them extensions. But when that email comes through, I'll bring you back. And here we are with the email of contracts that are set to expire in a month's time at the end of June, beginning of July. Maloto, as I said, we've already offered him a new contract anyway. Fernando Benjamin has a 1-year contract extension. He's 2.5 star at the moment, 3.5 star potential. Can play as a striker or on the right-hand side. So we're going to trigger his extension. Sifo Roman is a centre-back. We don't have an option to extend his contract, but we can offer him a new one. And I think I'm going to offer him a new contract. We're going to take that out of there. And, you know, he's a very decent centre-back. He's been a regular for us this season. What's his existing contract? 4.1 thousand. So he wants to go on to 4.2. Can we knock him down to 4? Yes, we can. So we saved a tiny little amount of money on that one. Lindo Radaby, he will be going. We'll set him for release. Jacobs, he's not really a player that I'm going to be using because he can play here, which we're not playing with them, that midfielder, we're playing with the defensive ones. We're not playing with a player here, but he can be a striker, but he's a bit rubbish at finishing. He's 24 years old. He's got a little bit of potential, but we could trigger an extension, but I think we need to just set him to release. So that's what we're going to do. Kalashaweo, we're going to trigger his extension. Mafunda Cox is another one that falls in the Jacobs category. he could be very decent. He does have some potential as well. And maybe it would be handy to keep him around just in case we want to bring in the 4-3-3 again for any reason. So I don't know what I want to do with him yet. I'm going to leave it for the time being. We could, do you know what, we're just going to trigger his extension. He's probably not going to play a single game for us and I'm going to regret it, but we'll trigger it anyway. This guy here lacks potential. We'll set him for release. And Mabasso is a 21. I mean, as it stands at the moment, we don't have a backup goalkeeper. And he does have potential. He's obviously going to be homegrown because he's South African. So I think we will offer him a contract, even though I am going to be on the lookout for a new goalkeeper. If I can find a goalkeeper that's better than what we've got, then I will. But if not, then can we get him for 250? Yeah, we can. There you go. Every little bit counts when we're trying to save a bit of money. Right. So Radaby is definitely going to be going. If we have a look over here, when I say I'm going to look at my squad planner, this is basically my squad planner. So we've got our first choice 11 at the moment. If we sign anyone that replaces any of these, then obviously the new signing will go in here and then we'll drop that person down into this category here somewhere. For example, we do have a left back coming in. I have no idea how we're signing him because I never made the transfer offer. I never knew anything about him. He just suddenly appeared in here. I was meant to tell you about it a couple of episodes ago, but I keep forgetting. Mohamed Jabal, he's 26 years old, 3.5 star current ability with 3.5 star potential. As a wing back on support, however, he will fall down to around 2.5 stars. But if we compare him with Goody Abbey, who we've already got at the club, then we'll see here that Jabal is better mentally, he's better defending, not quite as good physically, he's not quite as quick, and he's not quite got the vision. They're the same for attacking, but he's better technically, not quite as good aerially, probably because he's 5'7". So yeah, that's probably the reason for that. But overall, he does look slightly better. If we have a look at the attributes comparison, which is what I usually go by, Jabal is a 7 compared to Goody Abbey's 6 for technicals. Mentals, it's 11 against 10. And Goody Abbey wins on the physicals. So by 1, 12 to 13. So there's not a great deal to choose from, but it does give us the left back option. So the way I do this part here, goalkeeper, right back, centre back, left back, defensive midfielder, right winger, left winger, striker. And then anything we have after that is a bit of a bonus. So Benjamin we've already got in here. We've already got Kalashaweo in here as well. Benjamin we put in as the second choice striker. That could change a little bit. He might just be another option as the right winger. Ngidi is one of our youngsters that's what I class as a outside of the second 11. Sally, there's not really any room for this lad. Nobody wants him at the moment. But again, much like with Tanjagora and Mafundo Cox, he's someone that we could keep around because if we do decide to use midfielders a little bit further, he could come in a little bit handy. Dino Jelly is up here at the moment. I'm actually going to move him down here because he's a youngster like Ngidi, and I am going to be looking for another either ball-winning midfielder or deep line playmaker. If we can get a combination of two, that would be great. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at. We need to basically repair our entire defence and just see what players we can actually bring in. So yeah, I'll meet you around the 1st of July. Okay, so one thing I have learnt my lesson from is that last season I realised that the transfer window doesn't open until the 1st of July, and our first game of the new season will be around the 31st of July. So I've been preparing transfers ready for when the 1st of July ticks over, and we've got 4 players listed to come in. And this one here from Kaiser Chiefs, we're actually spending £225,000 on him. Simo Williams from the Kaiser Chiefs can play anywhere along the back. What I'm a bit alarmed about is he's got a clause in his contract. He wanted it. I wouldn't have wanted it in there. But basically when Meloto, who's our defensive midfielder, ball-winning midfielder I think he is, when he's no longer at the club, he takes his place. He doesn't play in the defensive midfield area, so I don't know where he thinks Meloto plays. But either way, he comes in as our potentially first choice, well, not first choice right back, but a backup right back to Emmanuel Frimpong. and he will be challenging Frimpong for a first team place. If Frimpong don't start getting the assists, then he will take over. And as you can see here, as a fullback, my assistant manager has it that he's already better than Frimpong. I mean, Maloto does play there as well, but obviously we have Frimpong. But potentially Simo Williams could actually end up being a replacement for Emmanuel Frimpong, and Emmanuel Frimpong dropping onto the bench. He can also play at centre back. He's 6 foot. His heading is rubbish, but his jumping reach is really good. He can also do a job at left back if we need him to. So he's a very versatile defender, basically, anywhere across the back. From the Kaiser Chiefs, £225,000 will join on the 1st of July. Then we've got Chad Nlovu on a free transfer. He's currently at Supersport United, so we're taking a player from the winners of the league. He was a first team regular with them last season as well. 3-star current and potential ability. He is 6'6", completely double footed, very strong left foot, very strong right foot. I love this boy already. He's 28 years old, so he's not really a boy, but the only thing I don't like about him, he's got a heading of 6. His jumping reaches, so he can jump really high, and being 6'6", he can jump even higher than high. But once the ball comes to him, you don't really know what to do with it. But he does have 17 for bravery, 17 for concentration, 16 for tackling, decent positioning as well. His composure lacks somewhat as well, but he will come in as a central defender on defend. He will be 2.5 star for that. He's a very good option there. He will fit in as a third choice option. Bear in mind, he's going to be gone anyway. Sifo Roman has stayed, which means we've got a very solid 3-star, four 3-star central defenders is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, add strength to that as well. Mohamed Jabal, we already know about, who's going to be our first choice left back. So we've got a first choice right back, a first choice left back. Then we've got Pitso Masuka, who is joining on a free transfer as well from, where is it? At Supersport United as well. We're raiding Supersport United by the looks of it. He's not been a first team regular, but he has played a decent amount of games. He can play as a ball winning midfielder back here. If we have a look over here at the ball winning midfielder part, Gabesi and Maloto are better than him, but again, he just provides that option. He can do the deep line playmaker as well. So can we change that? No, we can't. But he can do the deep line playmaker is what I'm trying to say. So far, 4 signings for £225,000. I am very happy with them 4 signings, because that is not far away from completing our squad. If we look at the finances, obviously this takes into account what's already confirmed over there. Our transfer budget's gone down from 1.4 thousand to 1.144 thousand, and we've still got £14,000 on the committed spending left in our wage budget as well. So there's room for more signings. I will continue to look and see what I find, and I'll let you know. It's the 1st of July and the new season has ticked over, and our 4 signings have been confirmed. Nlovu, Masuku, Jabali and Williams. I mean, they're a bit easier names to say as well. So we're going to send... Oh, I was going to say to you about this as well. What language course do I send them on? Because it always comes up with the option to send them on an English language course. And then you've got this one here, Sesotho. I'm pretty certain I've seen other language courses in the past as well, which I think it's all different African dialects maybe. I'm not 100% certain. So if anyone knows the answer to that question, please let me know in the comments. But I never really know what language course to send them on. So I always send them on whatever the option is for the non-English one, really. We're going to welcome our new signings. Gabesi can welcome all of our, or at least the first 2 new signings. Who's the next one? The next one will be Ayunda for Masuku, and then Ndevu for Jabali. There you go. Lovely, lovely stuff. We'll assign squad numbers later on. That's not overly important now. Just they should all be in my main squad. So let's have a look at I have put Mabasso, who was our reserves goalkeeper. He was running out of contract. We signed him on another year-long contract, 2-star kind of with 2.5 to 3.5 star potential. I am looking for another goalkeeper, but at the moment he will be my backup. So this guy here, Chad Nlovu, 6'6", could be a centre back for us. Can play anywhere along the back, I believe. Yeah, he's the one that can play anywhere along the back. So we'll put him up here as our backup centre-back for now. Then Jabali is the left-back, but he will be our first choice left-back ahead of Goody Abbey. There you go, it's a slight improvement. Then we have Masuku, who is a central midfielder. He slots in just there. We can play him in Maloto's place as the ball-winning midfielder, but he's not quite as good. And we can play him in place of Gabesi as a deep line playmaker. Again, he's not quite as good. He is a squad option, but he slots in there alongside Swane. And then we've got Simo Williams, who is our centre-back, well, right-back actually. Can play at centre-back, but will probably not be playing there. So Simo goes in there. If we put him up there, he's the same as Frimpong. The only reason why I'm sticking with Frimpong for the time being is he is actually an attacking fullback, whereas Simo Williams, I don't believe he is, although his crossing not quite as good. He's not got quite as good pace and acceleration. So, yeah, Frimpong will probably be the one to start at the moment, but that may change as the season goes on. So as we look at this team at the moment, we do have Jabali new here. The rest is just kind of an option on the bench at the minute. I do want to see if I can make some improvements somewhere. I mean, our attack I'm quite happy with. I know we had a few issues with our attack last season, but looking at them on paper, they do look pretty decent. Fernando Benjamin, by the way, he's probably going to be leaving the club to go out on loan. I know I triggered the extension in his contract, but we're going to remove him from there. He wants to go out on loan, so I said, okay, we'll send you out. Tobias Adelberger, I don't know why he's still here. He's not under contract with me, I don't think. Let's have a look at his contract. Yeah, he's on a month-to-month contract, is Adelberger. Can I actually make any use of him? No, probably not. So we will release him on a free transfer. I thought he was leaving anyway. I didn't think he was going to be sticking around. Daniel Mayambella. Now, he's an interesting one because he's a striker and he's 2.5 star currently, but 3.5 star potential. His contract was running out at the end of the season, but I had an email come through about the golden shoe or golden boot winners from this season, and he was actually second in that. He was at Chipper United on loan last season, and he scored 15 goals in 27 games in our division. So I thought, rather than just letting him go, we might as well keep him around and see what he's actually capable of. So yeah, he's still here. I'll probably move him up here instead of maybe Sally and see if we give him a chance, or the assistant gives him a chance in the friendlies, because I don't play the friendlies. But yeah, that's how we're looking at the moment with these 4 new signings. Supersport United have made an offer for Dino Jelly. I mean, it's £32,000. They can go away. We're not going to... Benfica have inquired about the real Mayambella. Now, I do believe we actually might have... Yeah, he wants to leave to play in a better division. Right, okay. We might actually have to accept this. We're not going to accept 250,000 because his transfer value is 850. So if we bung it up to 1 million, and if they accept it, I mean, we've got other players here, and Davu, for example, the other Mayambella. Will they accept 1 million? They've gone, no, they're not going to go to 1 million. I'm not going to go to lower than that. In actual fact, I'll take that offer there and I'll just make that non-negotiable. So if they want him, they can pay. I mean, I'll probably have to accept the £850,000, but if they want to give me 1 million, that will be fine. So yeah, the search for more players continues. We are about to enter pre-season with our friendlies. We got the Magic, that are an affiliate club with us, and Hanover Park, who are another affiliate club. The new season on here hasn't ticked over, so I don't know who I'm facing next or first up in the league or anything like that. But once that ticks round, I can then start to organise a few more friendlies as well. But there's only about a month left until the season starts. So yeah, I'll continue to look for a goalkeeper. And basically it's a case now of I go on to scouting. When this comes up, I just kind of have a look at who's around. And if anyone jumps out at me, I can make a bid for them. If Mayambella's going, I could potentially make an offer for this guy here. He actually looks very decent, to be fair. He was with Sundowns last season, scoring 20 goals in 35 games at a 7.14. He actually does look very decent. We may well be making a bid for him. Remember the name Leleholonolo Kumalo. remember the name Kamalo because we may be making a bid for him. And next new signing is on his way into the door, Asanda Shalembi. He's classed as a centre-back. He's actually can play centre-back, 6'1" as well. Decent jumping reach, rubbish heading again. But we signed him as a midfielder because he can play the ball-winning midfielder role. We can play an anchor if we want him as an anchor. He just looks like a decent, another decent option in the midfield for us. And he's on a free transfer. Don't hurt to do that. So 13k will be deducted from our 1.1 million. If we go over to the next day, he is now being confirmed. 3-star current and current ability and potential ability. Yeah, he's in through the door. It's another new signing for us. I am now kind of looking at, if we go onto this screen here, the likes of Sally and Tanjagor, potentially trying to move them on, but I just don't think there's any interest in them. There's nothing that he can do. We'll go to the intermediary. No, nothing he can do. We can offer via the transfer room. Just see if anyone doesn't have any real interest in moving to another club, as he's only signed a new contract. We cancel that. He's not going to go anywhere, I don't think. If we have a look at Tanjagora, he's wanted, probably just loan. Oh, there's transfer interest. So let's see what the agent comes up with him. There is interest to watch this space. We'll go to the intermediary. We'll set them a 30-day deadline. Looking to generate funds before making an offer, as they currently lack the financial power to do so. I mean, it's £70,000. Surely EA Gwyngamp can afford 70 grand for Tanjagora. We have had an offer come in for Swane for something like £25,000 they wanted. I upped it to £100,000. They've withdrawn the transfer, I believe, if I can try and find it. No. There you go. Amatux. They've withdrawn their offer now, so they're not interested. But if we get an offer come in for him, he's someone we could potentially let go, because we do now have a little bit of backup. We've got Masuku here. We now have Shembele that can pop up to there, eliminating Swane from there. But if he does stay, he's a useful option to have around. But we've got Masaku that could do the ball winning midfielder and a deep line playmaker. And then we have Shembele that prefers to be the ball winning midfielder. So two decent options there to back up what we've already got. It's improving the squad. That's the main thing. We are starting to now play our pre-season friendlies. It's still on this for some reason. I don't know why it don't tick over until much later. We've played the Magic. We've beaten them 14-0. Can't read anything into that. We'll probably beat Hanover Park by a massive margin as well. But yeah, everything so far is looking pretty decent. I'm happy with the way our transfer business has gone. Again, this is all last season's stuff, but it does include our new signings. And yeah, let's wait and see if there's anything else before the season starts in about 3 weeks' time. Okay, so it looks like the league thing has finally ticked over to the new season. We've got season expectations here. They want us to finish in the top 2 league positions in the South African Premier Soccer League. They want us to reach the semi-finals of all of the cup competitions. There's nothing on here, though, about the African Champions League, which is a little bit concerning for me. I'm going to confirm all that. That's fine. There is some transfer news to bring you up to speed on as well, more in terms of the outs. Mayambela, I've had loads of issues with him because we had an offer from Benfica came in that was for a paltry amount of money. I rejected it, and I then had like the entire squad wanting a meeting with me about them being unhappy that I'm not prepared to get rid of our best striker, which still baffles me to this day. So we've had some more. I agreed to sell him for around a certain price. We've had an intermediary try and help out as well. I've rejected the offer of 250,000 rising to 375,000 from the Orlando Pirates. I rejected Portsmouth's 400,000 up front rising to 700,000. And I've accepted Elche, which the intermediary got for us for £650,000 with his 5% fee, takes off about £32,500. And Benfica have come in with an offer of 650,000. I've accepted that as well. I feel it's just easier to let him go and find a replacement rather than go through the hassle of everyone being upset about it. So yeah, he's on his way out. Isaac Mofokeng has had an offer from Saudi Arabia as well, or somewhere like that. Where are they from? Yeah, Saudi Arabia. And I've rejected it because it's only 135,000 rising to 190, but there's every possibility he could go. Mafundo Cox has rejected a loan offer. Tanjagor, I think he's actually left now, Tanjagor. Has he not? Yeah, there he goes. Tanjagor has gone to Udax on a loan fee, £5,500 loan fee with a mandatory fee. It's actually £52,000. It's £27,500 up front with £25,000 in instalments. And so, yeah, he's gone. He won't be coming back. We will be getting a little bit of money for him at the end of the season. So, yeah, little bit of transfer news for you there. So I'll let you know what happens with Mayembela. I'm assuming he's going to go, in which case I need to get a bit of a move on. Now we've got another guy here, Laolo Johnson. He's not actually a striker, he's a midfielder, so I don't want him. But yeah, Kamalo, the guy that I had identified previously. Let's have a little look. Is he interested, first of all? There is some definite interest. They're going to want between £75,000 and £750,000, and he's going to want £2,700 to £3,600 per week in wages. They've come down a little bit on that. I'm thrilled. Let's have a little offer. We'll start off at the 73k, see what they go up to. So they've gone up to 450k in total. So I'll take out that one. And if we can lower this as well to 200 for each, is around £400,000. So it's kind of in the middle of that, and they've accepted it. So we have potentially got our replacement for Mayembela at a much cheaper price of what Mayembela was as well. And he's 25 years old, so he's a good age as well. We've got this guy, Kupovitz, can play on the left-hand side. Don't really excite me, to be honest. Don't really need him at the moment. So, yeah, let's see what happens with Kamalo and Mayembela. I'll give you an update as of when I have it. The schedule has now ticked over. So our first game is against Sundowns on the 31st of July. Then we play Richards Bay, who's one of the newly promoted teams. Then we have a Super 8 quarter-final. Then we've got Chipper United and Orlando Pirates. So basically tomorrow's episode will be Sundowns and Richards Bay as our first two games of the season. Right, let's see what happens with Mayembela and Camelo. Right, it's basically the start of the season. We're only a couple of days away, but we've had this come through the Champions League first round draw. Whoever these teams are will play either Cape Town City or Cotton Sport in the African Champions League first round. So have we got to play a preliminary or something? Because, right, okay, so yeah, we're in a preliminary round. Don't know when this takes place, by the way. Weren't even aware we're playing this, but we're playing Cotton Sport of Cameroon, who, if we look at them, they're a two-star national reputation team. I would imagine we are the favourites to win this game. And then if we beat them, we then go through to the first round where we will play one of these two teams, Algeria or Namibian teams. So we'll have a quick look at their reputation. 2.5-star continental for these. So they're actually not a bad side. We're a 3-star continental reputation. And then you've got this team here who are a 1-star nationals. I doubt it's going to be Ramblers of Namibia. It's most likely going to be this team, Belouizdad. Yep, we'll go with that at the moment. They're Algerian. Now, Egyptian and Tunisian teams are the big ones to watch out for. So in Egypt, Al Ali, for example, I imagine will be a very big team. So if we go to our competitions page, South African Champions League, competition begins on the 13th of August. So it's actually not far away for when we play that game. So there you go. It's a two-legged affair. So we'll be doing Sundowns and Richards Bay there. What we'll probably do is Cotton Sport and Orlando Pirates in Wednesday's episode. So we get the second leg and then a league game as well. If we can just make this look better. There you go. That's it. So yeah, there'll be the games on Wednesday. We have been drawn against Cape Town Spurs in the Super 8 quarter-final. I'm not going to be too bothered about that. We do need to try and get to the semi-final to please the board, but it's not a massive competition for me. Obviously, the Champions League is what really matters. If we have a look at transfers, by the way, transfer history, Mayembela has gone. He's gone to Benfica for £650,000. we've brought in a replacement in Kumalo, who rather annoyingly walked through the door, tripped over, sprained his ankle, and is out for 5 weeks. He's got another 12 days on the sidelines, which means we're not going to see him for the first 2 games of the season, but he should be back for the Cotton Sport United team. So if we go to our tactics screen, this is basically our first team. Not a great deal of difference. Jabali is in the first team. It's more about how strong the backup options look for us. I'm actually really happy with what we've got here at the moment. We've done quite a bit of business. It's more in this part with Tanjagora going plus a load of players being released. And then obviously Bad Boy came in, Jabali, Masuku and Lavu, Williams and Shelembe have all come in as well. We've spent 225,000 there, £625,000 spent, £650,000 rising to 700,000 with the other guy, Tanjagora. I think that's been a pretty decent transfer window. If you look, we're £100,000 in the credit. We've only just gone into the credit. We've got £818,000 left in the transfer budget. 96,000 is our wage budget. We've still got 15,000 left in that. The transfer window is open until like the end of September. So there is still chance that players will come and players will go. We're getting a lot of interest yet again in our goalkeeper, Gomazulu. If we bring in Mabasso as his replacement, he is a drop down. But again, the problem I had last season is the same problem I've got this season. I can't find anyone better than him. I can't really find anyone much better than Mabasso, even the fact that he's got 2.5 to 3.5 star potential. It's really difficult to find goalkeepers in South Africa. So there you have it. I think we'll leave it there because, like I say, it's only a couple of days until the new season. Please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel would be amazing. And I'll see you tomorrow for the first 2 games of the season. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.